Uh, what was I going to say? Let's take a look at the next week's economic reports that will be coming. Okay, that will be what? Retail sales was yesterday. Today we had, wait, Friday. I'm all off here. Then what the hell was this? What? Wait, okay, no, okay, excuse me. Today's Thursday. That's really strange. For a minute, for a little bit here, guys, I thought it was Friday. Did anybody else get that uh vibe from me that I was talking like it was Friday? If I'm off, let me know. No. I knew that this morning that it was Thursday, but then for some reason, oh, I think it was because I thought that the jobless reports were on Friday, and so that they came out made it in my mind Friday. No, today's Thursday. All right, so we can do this. So today could be a stronger volume day. All right, this could be happening. Yeah. Today is Thursday, and we have class tonight. It's okay. Uh, and so yeah, tomorrow will be sort of some nothing reports. Michael's like, I often lose track of what day it is. No worries. Yeah, it's the best, right? It's a good thing. The worst is when I think the worst is when there's a midweek holiday. I'll have to say that that is the worst. If there's like a Wednesday off of the market, then I come back Thursday feeling like it's a Monday. It just throws everything off. And also the Tuesday feels like a Friday. And then Friday ends up being Friday. But it's got no, you just, the momentum gets completely screwed over. Wednesday holidays are the worst. Well, we'll go over next week's reports tomorrow then, but essentially it looks like next week is going to be unencumbered and free to run. That's really amazing, guys. Other than we do have FOMC minutes being released on Wednesday at 2 p.m. So a little middle of the week next week, we got a pit stop and we got to see what the Fed says. That's going to be amazing. Frankly, that's going to move the markets Wednesday of next week. But even until then, I think we're going to find smart money flowing into assets. Now, interestingly enough, someone shared with me a report this morning. Oh, that was Spy Tracker shared with us a report showing that Druckenmiller is pulling out of large caps. He's rotating some out of large caps and into small caps, Bitcoin and some other things. And that's been happening. So if we go over to IWM, the Russell 2000, and you look at the pullback on the Russell 2000 and try to get a sense for, what is it doing compared to the larger market. Well, right now I'd say it's acting in tandem, but there was definitely a rush into small caps when the market started to pull back that you didn't see in the market. Uh, but you did see in the small caps. And so, relatively speaking, if all things being equal, which is exactly kind of where we are right now, that makes small caps a little bit of ahead, more leading. And so, you guys pay attention to the small capping lessons that I've been giving you. Um, Small caps moves, these are all shitty companies. But if money's flowing into them, they're gonna be great opportunities. And what to remember is that small caps move for a day or two. You're lucky if they move for 2 days. So look, bell curve speaking wise, primary, you get 1 day, a 1 day push. And then that's maybe the second day is a like topping tail candle. It's like an opening push or a gap up, and then it fades. That's it. That's the typical, that's what you get. That's all you get. So that means you got to catch the tail the day the tiger's running. So, like that's why we're looking for those every morning. Then, like next out from there is that it goes for a second day of follow through. That's great, but not the primary expectation. So you get in with hopes of that, but you be ready to snip things that don't quite do that. And then further outlying from there, the third point on the bell curve, now probably around the second standard deviation, is that after they've pushed up and then they've pulled back, then they squeeze more. They go over the pullback that just happened and they squeeze more. And that's a trade we talked about, I think, 2 months ago in class, or 1 or 3 months ago in class. That's a particular pattern that's really awesome and strong. And then finally, the least thing you can expect, way out there, the least thing you can expect, but does happen, is multi-day runner. That means it just keeps going. Chick, 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 chick. You can't expect that. But sometimes when you get in, that happens. But that's just too rare to really bank on. You can't really get enough risk reward uh, strategized in order to capitalize on that properly. And yet you do get in and you do get those, but those are real outliers around probably the third standard deviation. The cool thing is that if you can get yourself figuring out how to do shorting and then get some practice in there so you can understand the risks and be able to control the risks, those multi days create the ripest shorts because they go multi-day, multi-day, multi-day. And then Michael, what would be the signal that a multi-day run just hit its final moment? The way I said that will help hopefully pull the exact answer I'm looking at from you. What Michael says here. So listen up, because I'm asking for a very specific answer, and I love that you pulled that right out of your hat. First red day. That's another answer for another question, perhaps. And yes, that's an exact answer. Okay, but no, that's not the exact answer I'm looking for. Listen to again. So a multi-day runner goes and goes and goes, right? What is the signal to you that on this particular day it's experiencing its last and final moment? No, not quite. So you swang and tried 2 times. I'm going to give you a hint this time so you don't strike out. Here comes the hint. It starts with P and it rhymes with panoramic. Like if you had a panoramic vista. There you go. You're always, always, always looking for the parabolic move. Parabolic moves are unsustainable. So when something goes parabolic, it is the signal that it's the end. For most people, they're like, "Holy shit, I got to get in." That's we're experienced traders. That's the end. So it's not the first red day, right? And it might even be amazing looking. And but you see it as, you're licking your chops if you're a short. If you're a short, it's nice to be able to identify that if you can't be doing shorting, there's nothing you can do about it, but it's nice to be able to identify it. Now that you know the answer, I understand the question. That's hilarious. Listen again. This is exactly how I said it. Remember, listen again. In a multi-day runner, how can you know what the signal is that this day is the final day in the run, right? Now it's like, Jesus. But this is why I'm the teacher. I already know the answer to the question and I'm seeking, but in retrospect, yeah, it was right there in front of you, wasn't it? And you said first red day. That's true, right? I mean, I can't fault you for that. But one thing you said that might be a little inaccurate, but maybe not. It can work this way too. No, it's kind of inaccurate. Is low volume. That was inaccurate because it's not going to exhaust on low volume. And even if it's first red day today, let's say it's a first red day and it's on low volume, if it's the end of the move somewhere there, then that prior day should have had a peak volume, should have expressed some parabolicity, Yeah, it needs to have that parabolic to exhaust out. That said, not everything goes parabolic before it exhausts out, but when they do not go parabolic and it's exhausted out, they do this like very slow fading. They do this like slow thing. It just starts to fizzle. It doesn't dump because there was no parabolic. It just sort of in a controlled manner just starts day after day after day giving back everything. Right? So that's interesting. So it's not that dangerous after a parabolic. I mean, after a non-parabolic, and it starts coming back. But it is dangerous in the sense that if you let your capital sit in there for too long, eventually it's going to hit your stop, and the whole trade's going to be screwed. If you were up and it's starting to do that, and 15 days is going by, and it's just futzing its way back down and down and down and down, you can relocate that capital. Anyway, point being, it's a great time to be a small cap hunter, everybody. We got 4 minutes to the market opens. And this morning on small caps, I'm seeing Singulate Inc. is up strong. And that is not on earnings, which were Tuesday. So this is something else. 22 minutes ago, European patent for ADHD drug. Okay, they were issued a patent for ADHD. Look, anytime you get a patent, let me explain that a little bit to you. Like, I say a little bit because I'm not a lawyer and I'm just a guy who knows things. Okay. So let me explain that to you best I can understand. If a company gets a patent, it gives them a regional right uh, for exclusive exploitment of that innovative idea. Right. That's it in the capsule. And so it has a meaningful hit to the bottom line because now that you got the patent, you ought to be able to exploit it even more so because you can create a whole, it's like a whole business. It's almost an entire business launches for the patent, but companies have, sometimes thousands of patents. But for each patent, almost a business plan goes into force, a 20-year business plan. I don't know how long the patent is for. Let's see. Up to 30 territories. This is what I said. What did I say? Regional, right? And then the duration, you'd have to learn a little bit more about, I guess, European patents, but I'm sure it's probably like 20 years. Something maybe in biotech it's shorter, 10 years with renewables or something, but you understand? So now that they have that, that's why not they're up. And the only problem is all they've been doing is going down. So if they were going sideways, now they could enter a growth phase, right? Now this patent helps give them some lift for a while now. They get revenues off of it, et cetera, et cetera. They become kind of a company on that patent, whatever portion of their revenue stream they can make it represent. Maybe it's everything at the moment. Who knows? Could be a small company. It gives it some lift. It gives them some projectable profitable lift potentially. Okay, but if the company's already going down, that lift might just make it go sideways. So, sometimes these things are not good enough to make them take off a lot. But hey, for this company, that's a new, great, and amazing thing. Its market cap right now is 1.75 million. This company, which just got a patent for an ADHD drug in like all of Europe, is worth less than a mansion in the United States. Like a not even a mansion, like a these days, like a medium-sized house in California. That's it. Like you could just sell it. Like, and I'm not talking about like for rich people. Like, okay, middle class, yes, but 1.75 million. I mean, just think about that. You've got to put that into perspective. What is that? Like, divide up the salaries. Like, does it even pay for itself? So, what I'm saying is, what I'm getting at is this is a big deal for Sing. This, probably changes and multiplies their market cap. The revenues that are going to be flowing in, put it in business. So this is kind of a big deal on CING. So you start to look at it, think of it that way. Nikki, good morning. So anyway, there goes Sing, and right out of the gate, looks like profit taking, and it's going to bleed. Looks like it's going to bleed. Another one is SPRC. We just have to watch these things in the morning, and it's fading. AISP, but I do like Sing. Let's put it on the list here. Did I talk about the market? Yeah, we talked about the market. Okay, Sing is perking actually. I think I saw that's could be enough. If I can get any kind of signal out of it, Sing, I will then grab some. And okay, it's fading. By the time I get there, I really just wanted to wanted to put in the first minute candle anyway. And the various entry signals are first minute opening range breakout, and also pre-market high breakout or pivot, if you want to cheat it. So you got to put your stop down, but where it came, in case you have an update and says the whole thing failed. They failed to ratify it or whatever. Who knows? So 1.8. So $2 roughly is the stop. So $2 a risk for an entry here, maybe even $2.50. Okay. So if you were going to get into Sing on a swing, even though it's a day trade at the moment potentially, you get in for $2.50 for a swing risk because you ideally do want to get in on a swing, and you want that third standard deviation thing to be out there as a possibility, but it's not what you rely on. You're seeking a base hit. Seek base hits, guys. Okay, it might be happening on Sing. I just want to get cocked and ready here. All right, so we keep watching Sing while we check out other things. The market is flying, by the way. I saw something that was looking good. Starbucks. Starbucks is looking like it could throttle up to new highs. So watch that in case if you're a big cap trader. All right, I think we're almost to entry on Sing. 453 would be the breakout we're looking for. I'm going to switch to a 10-second signal, 10-second candles here. We'll go for a market entry. What the fuck? Oh man, I just heard a bling in my system and it made me think to buy. All right, I have prematurely bought on this Sing here. And don't do that. Don't necessarily. 453 would be the point to buy. I have prematurely accidentally bought, but I have a huge stop all the way to $2. There it goes. Okay, it's flying now. And I think part of the exits should be taken at pre-market highs because that could be all she wrote and then move stop to break even. So around just under 550, so like 545. So I'm gonna just already plant that as a order on the ladder at 545. In fact, I'll even do five. Yeah, no, 545. And I will let that sit there while we go look at other things. SPRC AISP. Okay, SPRC. Nope, it's moving down. And give me that 1 minute, 10 second anymore. Yeah, that's failing out. AISP. Nay. FITO. Nope. VSME. But remember to look at everything at the end of the day as well. In final hour, these things, some of these could have turned around and be closing nice and strong. I'm getting more push from you. This is mm, small cap that I got in a few days ago or a week ago or so. Let's take a look at it just so I can show you what that trade looks like. I got in over here. It was an earnings based trade, but on a small cap on a bottom reversal, it was a very important pivotal point for the company. So I got in with an intraday stop loss at 23. I got in at 24.70, something like that. Okay, and this was like 2 weeks ago. Um, what was I going to say about that? Is that it's already at 24, so it's not quite a penny stock, right? But it was still a good trade and a huge catalyst like moment for it, domino affecting wise. And it's a $4 billion company, so it would I would call that kind of mid cap. So it's a bit more of a mid cap trade, but already I'm up. Uh, what is it there? 15% since entry, and the stop was just 6% or 7% roughly. So I'm already at 2 to 1 on that. I already have some, I believe, uh, orders to take profit on that set. Maybe not. Tonight we're going to go over in masterclass. We're going to go over again. I'm just going to do it again because it's very interesting and fun to learn how to set your profit targets. And I would say that 8 times out of 10, so 4 out of 5 times, I know I'm able to find where I want all my profit targets, all of them. Like, I can show you how to do that tonight. But the interesting thing is that 1 out of 5 times, maybe 20% of the time, there's nothing to base it on. In other words, it's a blue sky territory, but it's almost always based on retracement points. That's what I'm going to show you tonight. Retracement pivot points and anything else that you can deduce. And they're damn accurate. So it's worth teaching you and and what to do. And also we'll discuss what to do in the situation where you have no reference at all. And partially, if you have no reference, uh, it could be a trade that you don't take, and that's perfectly fine. It's much better that you have an idea for the whole trade, like a whole business plan for that trade, um, rather than not know what you're doing. I'm gonna take a quick look to see if I have anything I need to cut. If you don't mind, you guys, double check. I don't have any emergencies on my hand here. Everything's looking good. Looking good there. And then in the high growth, looking outstanding. A lot of 50% max profits are now sitting around 75% because I keep trying to get, scale out of them and get those contract fills, but they keep going. So for example, ANET, I got in, looks like I didn't put the put credit spread break even line, but I got in back there on the low. It's now at 77% max profit. So I am going to put in a order. I got one contract left. I am going to put in an order to go ahead and just fill that. And assuming it can get some further strength, I'll put it at a even more desirable price and let it sit all day. That's my technique on that. I do that pretty systematically. Uber, same thing. I got in way down here and look at it now, and it's at 72% max profit. And I got one contract left. I sold two yesterday, had three or more over the course of time. And I'm going to be looking for a little bit of an aggressive exit. I'll let that sit on the bid for a while as well. M Power, same thing. These are the PCS trades I was in. Got in way down here. It's now all the way up at almost all-time highs at almost 900, and I'm sitting at 63.5% to max profit gains. And I got one contract left, and I'm going to put that in at a pretty aggressive bid. See if I get filled on that today as well. Anything else I need to set? Yeah, actually, like 5 more. TSM. See, same thing. Bought down here. Look at it now. One contract left. Should be able to get, I think on a day like today, I should be able to get a very nice fill. There we go. I just got filled on that automatically. And actually, I got filled around 75% max profit because I had an aggressive exit set. So TSM just got out of that. GE, 58% max profit. I love GE, by the way. Look at this chart. I mean, just what a freaking gorgeous chart this is. It's been topping and choppy lately, but with a lot of strength compared relative to the market. So, of course, everything should be, having a hard time. But GE's kind of not. I mean, to be topping and like hitting the top here and chopping, I consider that really strong relative strength. And it's no wonder. I mean, look at this damn chart. It's incredible. So anyway, I got to put credit spread on that in the past, and I did another one recently, and now it's at 59.89%. So 60% max profit. And I'm going to try and close out one of my 2 remaining contracts at an aggressive price and let that sit on the bid all day. Probably going to get taken. And Meta, wait, what is this now? Something that's jumped above. Carvana, right? Even though it's pulling back on the day, it just zoomed up to 61% max profit, and that's due to Theta and Vega and Ivy Crush. Ivy Crush is mainly what it is. As it pulls back there, it benefits you. You can't get that with any other types of things. It's one of the wonderful worlds of credit spreading. Um, Carvana, I'm going to get rid of this one contract at an aggressive bid, and we'll see what happens. Let it sit all day again. Palantir, and that's my sit. That's the way I do it. Palantir is another one. Look at it go. Phew, love it. And part of the system, it's nice that we don't just keep letting it ride, letting it ride. Let me let it ride. I'm just gonna keep letting it ride until all of a sudden something bad happens, and then you give back too much. Uh, we have a system of taking profits when we get even halfway there, and that's a good thing. All right, I have a bunch of contracts on that, and so I just put one in, and actually, I just got sold. It instantly sold, so I'm going to get an even more aggressive order going for. I have 9 remaining contracts on that. Going to go for even slightly more aggressive price. That was too easy of a sell. And I'm at 55% max profit on that, and that covers it. I think. Oh, Meta's the last one that's over 50% max profit this morning for me. And look at that one. So I got to put credit spread right here, and then it shit on me, but bounced. And using all of our rules, uh, it navigated me through staying in because basically the rule said stay in. And then it catapulted back through the break even line, is back over here now on the other side, on the profitable side. But not only that, because of the length of that journey, now I'm at 59% max profit. So that's an incredible win. So I'm going to go ahead and close out one of those 2 contracts. I'm going to set to close out one of those 2 contracts at a decent exit price. See if I get that. Let that sit on the bid all day. Okay, that takes care of all of my put credit spreads that are above 50% max profit. The rest of them are all profitable, but not all the way there yet. MMYT is right on the cusp, but I'll come back to that later on my own time. no problem. But MMYT, a beautiful chart. Look at this. Make my trip limited .com or whatever. Um, Gorgeous chart. Yeah, it has its troublesome moments. So did the market, but this is a wonderful, um, wonderful chart. And a pullback should probably be bought, educational purposes only. Right. Back to Sing. Sing is just going sideways. Tesla is flying. I already got Tesla. I'm already in Tesla. So Tesla's doing really well on this news. Let's go take a look at Tesla's chart. First on the chart where you don't see much. There's no, indicators and stuff, and I'll get rid of all these lines and just look at the price action of it. Kind of see what we're thinking about here. Yeah, I think it has a ways to go to to ripen into a strong long. It's got some stuff to prove. But one thing's for sure is look at this. It has, not even too long ago, not even too recently, a while ago, about a month or two ago, it has broken through that top line resistance line. Now it dipped back under it. And so sometimes that can create more resistance. We could be talking about, 140 again in a week, and that's perfectly plausible. And then it does this kind of a thing. I mean, so what I'm getting at is okay, then it's finally over that resistance line. And what I'm getting at is it's still a while before we can be sure that Tesla's along. And here I am, that's 2025 right there. I mean, it might not be till late next year that Tesla is really breaking out and flying again. Although perhaps with the proper electoral results this November, that catalyzes it right on over into what we need to be able to get in on that. And we'll see that, and we'll be on top of that. We're on top of the market and opportunities, all opportunities every day. We will not miss anything. And if we do, please let me know if I've missed something. Always let me know. By the way, here's what that looks like with all kinds of moving averages all over it. In case that helps you some. No, see, usually on a choppy thing like that, it doesn't. But MMYT, you really get a good reading for it. It looks just, I mean, it's just gorgeous. Almost looks unreal. Just so good. Green line, just crushing the body. Anytime you undercut the green line on this, and then it goes, maybe has a green day to recover, that could be an entry. All right, back to smalls. Damn, my RVOL list is not updating. RVOL pops. Reload that up. Okay, now it's going to show. That's it. Jeez. ARAY. Wow, not a lot. Amazing. ARAY. Hmm. Yeah, it's real strong. It's off earnings, not over a pivot. Volume is strong, but yeah, that's not quite the signature we're looking for. And anyway, any of these first day greeners, look at them at the end of the day. Yeah, we're trying to see if we can get some early entry on Sing, which I should check on here. But it doesn't, it might not follow through. You could get in at the end of the day, towards the end of the day in power hour, if it's creating a nice tall green entry first green day like candle. Yeah, that patent might do well for Sing. Good on them. So yeah, Tesla doing well, but in the even medium term of it, to say nothing of the long term of it, right? The spot that Tesla's at is not necessarily unencumbered. There's a lot of resistance right in the center of a congestion zone, and it could stay that. I mean, even if it starts flying in November on the election results, it still has a ways to go and chop through before getting into blue sky territory. You could be talking 2026. I mean, it's going to be a year and a half before we see Tesla at new highs. So, there's nothing to rush about it all. But hey, a trade is a trade. All right, looking back at the market, and then we'll close this up. Take a quick look. Andy, you're just getting in. I'm just about ending now. Um, so you don't have to record. Let's see. Yeah, so the market is gap opening up. Now the volume is what I'm curious to know about. Volume, but with projection. Okay. At least right now, but that could change. At least right now, the volume is projecting to be a follow through day. So this could indeed become a day that is a huge signal that the bottom is in. A follow through day sort of signals that the bottom is in, and that can fail, but it's about a 60 or 70%. I would even say 70%. It's a pretty solid 70% plus confidence signal, because what can happen is it can fail out. That can happen. If the low on the follow through day is broken, I believe that's the rule, then it becomes risk off again, and you wait for another follow through day. And then sometimes on rare occasion, we come all the way back down and we break the low that the follow through day was saying was the bottom on a very rare occasion. But overall, 70% of the time, follow through day is a good signal for longing and positioning for smart money, for bigger money. So then you just got to go through and find stocks that are at pole position and breaking out. Those are the best. Netflix is already on its run. It's looking great. You look at Microsoft, that's not looking even teed up. That's not even giving off the right vibes. Meta, Meta's in freaking incredible. Yeah. And in fact, the last 3 days have been kind of a breakout. So Meta would be a strong candidate. Meta, Apple. I mean, just to look at the big ones. Apple, AMD, Nvidia. That was one that I missed the other day when we were talking about the Magnificent Seven. AMD, no. Nvidia, yeah, Nvidia is breaking a little pivot right there. Yeah, Nvidia signals here if it can get above 120. What exact? I'll give you the exact number. Yeah, 120.16, 120. Yeah. So if Nvidia can get above 120, it's signaling as well, but unfortunately, it's too close to earnings to do a put credit spread. But these are all, uh, all things are looking great, and you're going to see that probably if today indeed follows through. If we get large volume this Thursday, uh, across the different market indexes, and it's a green day, then the bottom is in, and then follow through day has occurred, and that start big money starts pouring in to the markets, and that's just going to cause it to ripen. What is it? August, September, October, November. So we still have like 2.5 months until till the election. So we'll probably chop around before making new highs, but who knows? Knock on wood. Who knows? It could go further. So we'll see. All right, you guys, back into the group. That's the morning update. We checked all the little penny opportunities and everything else, and Tesla's doing strong, and whatever else I mentioned. All right, let's talk in the group. Have a good morning, everybody. See you this evening. Masterclass tonight for those of you out there who want to participate in the masterclass and learn about where to take profits. Click the link in wherever you are and come into our trading community. See you tonight, everybody.